All right, hello, ladies. Sorry, I am not here today. I wanted to make a video for the notes. I just think it'll be better if your notes are completed versus having you guys go and watch some random video. So one thing I was going to do is we're going to skip the paper folding activity. We'll do that as a warm-up next class. So go ahead and skip that slide and move to, let's see, we're going to, I think, yeah, this also goes with that exercise, so we'll do this later. And so we're going to start on this page, on the third slide. So if you guys can locate the third slide. And remember that, I'm sorry, I just lost my little video camera. I was like, where'd it go? Remember that you can always ask the substitute teacher, the very kind person in the room, if they will pause the video whenever you need to, if you're trying to get something written down or something, okay? So make sure you're following along with the notes as we go. All right, first thing we want to talk about is we want to talk about angle bisector and the definition of angle bisector. It's a lot like the definition of segment bisector. Basically, for an angle bisector, that's a ray that divides an angle into two angles that are congruent. Remember, congruent means the same, right? The same measure. So we can use that to help us solve problems. Remember the congruent symbol, just as a reminder, is the equals with the little squiggly on top. All right, so let's do some practice problems talking about bisected angle. So here is that ray symbol, ray BD, okay? So let's go and look at the diagram, and let's see if we can find ray BD. Okay, here's ray BD poking right out here. Everybody see it? Okay, so that's the ray they're talking about. And ray BD bisects, right? Bisects, this remember is the angle symbol, angle ABC. So you see angle ABC is over here, this obtuse angle. Then we have ray BD, and it bisects it. So what does bisect mean? It means cut into two equal parts, right? Two congruent parts. So that would mean that this angle that's going from here to here is the same measure as this angle going from here to here, okay? So that could help us. Now, this information right here, that the measurement of angle ABC equals 110 degrees, that's the whole angle, right? So we go, oh, this sounds a little bit like part plus part equals whole. It does, but the two parts are the same, right? So this is going to be the same measurement as this angle. When things are the same, but we don't know what they are, you could call this angle X, and then this would also be angle X because they're the same, right? And together, they add up to this big angle. So you could think of it as X plus X equals 110 and solve it like an algebra problem. So some of you guys are big algebra people, and you're like, cool, let's do algebra. But others are like, you know what, couldn't we divide by 2? Which is exactly the last step of solving the problem, right? Dividing by 2. So yeah, 110 divided by 2 gives you the measurement of its two equal parts. So the two parts are, let's see, measurement of angle A, oops, that's me there. Of angle ABD is 55 degrees, right? And then the measurement of angle DBC is 55 degrees. So we're able to answer our two questions by either solving it algebraically or taking the whole and dividing it by 2 to find the parts. If you need to pause, just ask to pause. All right, here's some practice with this, okay? Now let's take a minute and look at each of these angles, okay? They're all broken up and bisected by ray HK. So ray HK is coming through the middle, and then these two angles are the same measure. They're congruent, okay? Oops, Teresa. Same with this one. What's the red box mean? Does anyone know what the red box means? The red box means what? 90 degrees, right? That's a right angle, okay? So that'll help us when we have to figure out, okay, well, what do each of these angles equal if the whole angle is 90 degrees? And then here we have a big obtuse angle that's 161 degrees, also bisected by ray HK. So go ahead, if you don't mind, the kind person in the room, if you could pause this for a minute and give the students an opportunity to answer these 3 questions, that would be terrific. I'll go ahead and work them out on my own, so when you come back on, they are ready to go. So let's see, for number 1, the measurement of GHK would be 52 divided by 2, which is 26 degrees. And the measurement of angle KHJ is also 26 degrees, KHJ. Even though this 52 is right there, the 52 goes with the whole angle. That arc that goes all the way across tells us that that means the whole angle. All right, for the next one, measurement of angle GHK is 45 degrees, and the measurement of angle KHJ is also 45 degrees. And then our third angle, we have measurement of GHK. Oops, I forgot my angle symbol. Look how tiny it is. Let's see, half of 161, 80.5 degrees. And then the measurement of angle KHJ, I don't know what I'm writing. We'll go with that. KHJ is also 80.5. So hopefully everyone did okay with that. And we're going to learn a little bit more about this. Okay, so here this goes with example 2 from your book. So remember, you can use your book as a resource if you need to. It says find angle measures and classify an angle. Okay, so there's a lot going on, a lot of words over here that we're going to have to read. And then we have our diagram over here that has these little red arcs. Y'all see them? They're not connected all the way across, are they? Okay, if they're connected all the way across, we'd say, oh, that whole angle is 46 degrees. But that actually looks very close to almost like a right angle, so I know it's got to be bigger than 46 degrees. So what I'm saying is that this one angle at the top, LMP, is 46 degrees, and that this angle is congruent to this one angle at the bottom, PMN. So these are congruent angles, okay? That's cool because up here in the given information over here, you see that ray MP bisects angle LMN. Well, that's cool because that's what the congruent means, right? Bisect means cut into 2 equal parts. So we can see that it cut into 2 equal parts. Then it's telling us again here in written form that the measurement of angle LMP is 46 degrees. So even if we couldn't pick it up from the diagram, it's also written right here that just that top angle is 46 degrees. The next question, we have 2 parts. We have A and B. So for A, it says find the measure of PMN, measurement of angle PMN. PMN, do we know what that one is? Well, it's congruent to the other angle, so it has to be 46 degrees, right? And then it says find the measure of angle LMN. LMN. Well, that's the whole outside angle, LMN. Well, if that's 46 and this is 46, together they are whatever 46 plus 46 would be, right? Which is 92. So LMN is 92 degrees, all right? Part B says, determine whether LMN is acute, right, obtuse, or straight. Okay, well, LMN is 92 degrees. So is 92 degrees an acute angle? No. Is 92 degrees a right angle? No. Is 92 degrees an obtuse angle? Yes. It's obtuse. It is larger than 90. Is it a straight angle? No. Only 180 is straight. Okay, so it says explain, and we could say the angle is greater than 90. So we could explain that. So feel free to pause and give everybody a chance to jot all that down. All right, so we've got some practice down here at the bottom of this slide. We got some opportunity to practice this skill. So a given information says QS bisects angle PQR. So all of them are angle PQR. They're different measures, but they're all angle PQR. They have a ray down the middle that cuts it into two equal angles. Each of these angles are equal. These are equal. We also see, because of our congruency symbols, that this angle is congruent to this angle. This angle is congruent to this angle. This angle is congruent to this angle. So that helps us to identify that. Then it wants us to find the two unknown angles based on this number that they're giving us, right? So the measurement of angle SQP, and, oh, I did that backwards. M angle, SQP, and also PQR, all right? So SQP, do we know the measurement of SQP? We do, right? Because it's congruent to the RQS. So this angle is also 29 degrees. So SQP is 29 degrees. And then PQR is the outside angle. So we need to take the two 29-degree angles and add them together, right? 29 plus 29. That's 58. So PQR is, 58 degrees. And then I want to know, is PQR acute, right, obtuse, or straight? Well, we can look at this number and decide if it's acute, right, obtuse, or straight. So everyone should be able to identify a 58-degree angle is acute. All right, so pause this at this point. Please pause it and let everyone answer number 5 and number 6 on their own, and then come back and they can check their work with my work. Oh, shoot. All right, SQP for this one, SQP is 45 degrees because they're congruent. And then RQP or PQR is 90 degrees. And we all know that a 90-degree angle is a right angle. Okay? And then here, measurement of angle SQP and measurement of angle PQR. SQP is congruent to the 60-degree angle, so that's 60. And then PQR is the total, so you add them together, that's 120, and a 120-degree angle is obtuse. All right, so hopefully we did okay with those 3 examples. All right. So in the kite, angle DAB is bisected by AC. Okay, so let me get my little highlighter. All right, DAB. DAB is this angle, right? Bisected by AC, okay? So that means this angle right here is 45 degrees, right? Then we also must have, these angles are congruent. So that angle is 45 degrees. Now, I don't even know what they've asked for me to find out yet. And angle BCD is bisected. Okay, where's BCD? Let's find that. BCD. Oh, BCD is this angle down here. And it is also bisected by CA. Oh, ray CA is going that way. So this is 27. And then also, this angle then is congruent because it's being bisected, cut into 2 equal parts, cut into 2 equal parts. Now let's see what they want us to find. Find DAB. So DAB is the whole angle over here, right? All the way across is DAB. So DAB would require me taking the two parts, 45 and 45, and adding them together. So 45 plus 45 is what? 90. So that's a 90-degree angle. And then it also wants us to find the measurement of angle BCD. BCD goes around this way. So we need to add those two numbers. So 27 plus 27. 27 plus 27 is 54. So that angle is 54 degrees. So we can use the given information from the drawing and that is written up here, like things like it's being bisected, because that helps us identify what part is equal to what part. So there's a lot of opportunity to add information even to the drawing from the written part. All right, here we can practice that now. So there's a lot to look at here. You really have to take a minute with the diagram and try to figure out what you want to do, what they're giving us, what they're asking us. Okay, so for this first one, ray KM, so ray KM, oh, I see it coming straight down the tail of the plane. Ray KM bisects angle JKL. So JKL is this angle, the big outside angle, and then the ray bisected it going this way, right? And then that means that we're also given this little bit of information. You'll see this arc goes all the way across. So this 96, this little angle, and you can tell this little angle right here is at 96 by itself because that's an acute angle. But the whole thing all the way across is 96, okay? Well, what does that tell us then? If we have to find the measurement of angle JKM, JKM is right here, right? Well, no, we can't see that. Let me try again. Let's see if it's green. Yeah, is that angle, just that angle, right? So we need to take that 96, remember these are two equal parts, so we can take 96 and divide it by 2, and that will tell us what the measurement is, and the measurement would be 48 degrees. And then for the second angle they want to know, MKL, MKL is on this side, right? That's this one. And these two parts are congruent, so MKL is also 48 degrees. And you can check, together, does 48 and 48 add up to 96? It does, so then you know you're right. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and let everyone do number 8 on their own, please. Let everybody take a second to do number 8. All right, let me catch up to you guys. So, measurement of angle WUV, measurement of angle WUT, what? WUV. It's WUV and what? That's cute. Okay, so WUV, let's see. WUV. Well, this 60, you have to decide, is the whole thing 60? Look at this whole angle right here. That's an obtuse angle. That's bigger than a corner of a paper. Is that the 60-degree angle? No. The 60-degree angle is the one on this side, right? Just from here to here. This angle is 60 degrees. So this is our bisector, so we know this part's equal to this part, so that tells us that this angle is 60 degrees. So WUV is 60 degrees. And then what? WUT is the total of both of them. So that should be obtuse because it's a big angle. So we take 60 plus 60, that's 120, and we're able to find that bigger combined angle. Okay, moving on. So, of course, we're going to layer in, as our last part of this lesson, a little bit more algebra, okay? So, over here, this is supposed to say ray RQ bisects angle PRS. Find the value of x, okay? So bisect means what? What's bisect mean? Everybody think about it. Feel free to holler it out. Bisect means cut into 2 equal parts. So this ray is cutting this into 2 equal parts. So this right here is equal to this right here. So I'm telling you, by just saying the word equal, what equation we're going to set up, right? 6s plus 1, that angle, excuse me, is the same measure as 85. So those two have to be the same. So now we can set up an equation and figure out what x is. Everybody pause the video and take a moment to work it out to solve for x. Four, 14. I think so. So x equals 14. Did everyone get x equals 14? If you did, congratulations. Very good. All right, let's try a couple more examples where we're going to use the algebra. All right, I'm going to set y'all free because that last example was really good. So let's pause the video and everybody work on this. Remember that because this is being bisected, it is being cut into 2 equal parts. So this part and this part are equal, okay? Even over here, this part and this part are equal. So you should be able to set up an equation. Excuse me. So pause the video, work 9 and 10, and then come back and check your answer. All right, for this problem over here, remember, even though there's x's on both sides, we need to get them together on the same side. So we subtract the 8x to get it over here with the 9x. Then we have 3 equals 9 minus 8 is 1 or 1x. So x ends up being 3. So that is the solution to that problem. All right, so what I would like to see now is you guys, we have an activity planned. I want to everyone to get whiteboards and markers and erasers. You, if you have your computer, only should your notes be on there. There should be nothing else on there but today's notes. And we're going to do a little whiteboard practice with our angle bisector. So pause the video till everybody gets their whiteboards and they're ready to go, and then start it back up. Okay, so everybody should have their whiteboards ready to go. We're going to do some whiteboard practice. Just do this as long as there's time for. If we don't get to the end of it, you can stop the video with 5 minutes to go and let everybody get their stuff put back away. So this is mainly for you guys to get extra practice, to make sure you're understanding what we learned today. So please take it seriously. Please do your best on it. And you probably have to pause the video after every time because I'm just going to kind of go through it fairly quickly. So we'll show the problem, pause it, and then work the problem, play it, etc., etc. All right, first problem on the board. Ray GE bisects FGH. Find the angle measure. So, oh shoot, darn it. Okay, I messed that up. Sorry, you probably paused it already, and I need to show you the diagram before you pause it. So here's the diagram. I'm going to make it full screen because I think you need to be able to see the question. There we go. There's the diagram. There's the work. Now pause it and solve for EGH. EGH. Okay, so the measurement of EGH is 23 degrees. So hopefully you put 23 degrees. Good job. All right, let's try the next one. Here's the next problem. I'm going to show you the diagram before you start. Now you can pause the video now. All right, this is giving you the whole angle and it wants you to find FGE. FGE, it's right here. This is the angle we're referring to, but that's not an 140-degree angle. That's an acute angle. The 140 is the number that goes all the way across, right? So that's 140. But we would take half of that, and half of that is 70. So this would be 70. And that makes sense because it looks acute. All right, on to the next problem. Let me show you the diagram and then pause it. All right, so remember the red box means 90. It wants you to find EGF. So that's this angle. You would take 90 and divide it by 2, and you would have 45 degrees. All right, moving to the next problem. Let me show you the diagram. All right, there it is. Now you can pause it, take your time and read. All right, if you guys were reading carefully, you notice that it wants you to find two things, right? It wants you to find CBA, which is this one, and we know that it's congruent, so that one's 35 degrees. And then it also wants you to find DBC. DBC goes all the way across, so we would do 35 plus 35, and that's 70 degrees. So DBC is 70. So hopefully you got that right. Pause it if you need to, and moving on. All right, let me show you the diagram. Notice there's two things they're asking for. All right, pause it, let everybody work it out. All right, angle CBA, right? These are two congruent angles, so that one is 75 degrees. And then DBC goes all the way across, so that would be 75 plus 75, so that would be 150. So DBC is 150 degrees. And look at it, it's a very large obtuse angle, so that does make sense. All right, moving on. Let me show you the diagram. All right, CBA is 45 degrees, and DBC is 90. There's our right angle. All right, here comes the picture. All right, we're adding in some algebra here, so we have to see if we understand the concept. Pause it. Let's all try to see if we can solve for x. Okay, solving for x. Well, this angle, because this is the bisector, JK is the bisector, this angle and this angle are congruent. Congruent means they have the same measure. So x plus 10 equals 40. So we're able to subtract 10 and solve for x, and x equals 30. So if you put x equals 30, awesome. All right, here's another one. Find the value for x also. Pause the video. So here, this angle, these two angles are congruent. So 4x equals 80, divide by 4, and x equals 20. Here's another one. So they had to draw arrows because they couldn't fit the numbers in here. So just take a second to see what angles are pointing at. Pause the video. All right, so these two angles are congruent. So 6x equals 18, divided by 6, x equals 3. Yay! All right, end of whiteboard practice. Your homework's on the board. Also, your IXL's on the board. So let's get that done, and I'll see you guys next class.